Yo everyone, hey guys, it's Old Man G here, back again with quite a late match preview. So it is late, and I've got back from work and I'm quite tired. So I don't think it's going to be a particularly long preview unless tons of people just start tuning in and watch. And if you are watching, if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter and smash the notification button for the latest Manchester United news and then some, because we're covering a lot more Premier League news. Hopefully, once the year's over. Anyway, this is our Manchester United versus Brighton match preview. We're going to be talking a bit about the press conference and a few tidbits from there. Most notably that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has hinted that Eric Bailly has started. But I guess first and foremost, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. For me, this is definitely a must-win. It is a must-win game for Manchester United because I've looked at the next couple of fixtures. Spurs at home, Newcastle away, which is not easy, given the fact that we've lost the last two seasons thanks to Matty Longstaff. Then I think we've got Chelsea at home, then Arsenal at home, then Everton away, who look pretty good. So we need to win this game. We really, 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 really need to win this game. I've got my obviously lineup, as you can see, just next to me, just there. We'll go through it in a second. I know the banner is overlying it, but we are going to go through it where I think Solskjaer will start off with, But like I said, the loss against Crystal Palace was disappointing. We do need to sort of go for this and win it, and there's no excuses. I do expect us to win because Brighton will give us a lot more space in comparison to other teams, and I think that like we did last season, although it'll be tough, and Brighton are organised under Graham Potter, and obviously Mopai is always a threat. But I think that if we go with the changes next to me, so then I think that we should be fine. Before I get into it, I want to just quickly share the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference. There's actually on Manchester United's full transcript of the press conference right here for anyone that can see. So just going to quickly go for a few key thoughts from the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference ahead of the Brighton game. Like I say, if you're new to remember, like the vid. Kobe says, I think VDP, Matic, and Fernandes should start. That's a fair point, and that's I think that's one of the big decisions that Solskjaer is going to have to make. Van de Beek or Pogba. So this is his press. I'm just going down. He's quizzing a few topics. Here's below. This is from Manchester United, obviously official website. So he asked, just wondering if you feel the squad up to speed in terms of fitness and sharpness. Of course, we're a week further down the line. It's been a good week. Some players have been training more. The work on training ground has been good, and some played well against Luton. So we're further down the line, which other teams are probably as well. We need to be further online because last week was a disappointing one, which it was. What are the challenges of facing the same team twice in a row in two different cup competitions, which is true because we're facing them in the Carabao Cup next round and this. I said it happens so many times. Happened to us last year with Wolves as well. We just have to take one game at a time. It's the Premier League, and it's what is. So he's right about that. We faced Wolves back twice, but we got through Wolves. So hopefully we get through Brighton as well. But I suspect in the Carabao Cup game we'll be making a fair amount of changes. At least that's what I would expect. Just quickly moving on. I wanted you to assess your option of centre back. This is the key. This is where I think key comes in. This is the key, I think, thing here. I wanted you to assess your options at centre back. You have some young players and some senior players who are wearing the shirt at the moment. Are you confident that you won't need to strengthen that area in the next 10 days? Have you got what you need? I.e., are you going to sign a centre back who is going to come in? And this is what Solskjaer says. I think last season proved to us how we can defend at our best. Okay, maybe this is just dodging the question here, Solskjaer. Dodging the question. Last year proved that we could defend well at our best. Okay. We conceded sloppy goals, but our defensive record from last season shows with Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire how good a partnership they were. It's the whole team defending as a team. Okay. Eric Bailly is fit again, which is a big bonus for us, and I'm looking forward to seeing him develop and play more games this season because we've been waiting for him to. Well, first waited to? Well, first be fit and then to play more regularly. Okay, so is that a hint that Eric Bailly is going to start? I think that it probably is. I would expect, especially given what happened with Lindelof over the weekend, I would expect Eric Bailly to start. I would. VidCon fund and chances. Even if we sign Sancho, still we cannot match City Liverpool. It will still be hard to qualify for the Champions League. I agree with that, actually. I think that we needed Sancho, a defensive midfielder, and a centre back to even think about competing. Last year is gone. It is. I don't disagree with you, mate. I really don't. But like I said, going back to Solskjaer's thing, I expect, given Victor Lindelof's performance, I expect Eric Bailly to start. He must start. It's as simple as that. He has to start. And if that isn't a hint of starting, I don't know what is. I know one of your pressures is keeping players happy. You won't bother too much about that because you're winning team. You've got good players who aren't playing. Romero, Smalling, Marcus, and others. Will you look at over the next few days and think good players need to be playing what they can go? So these are transfer questions. It says players are happy when they play well and win games. Are happy when we play well and win games. It's not my job to keep them happy. My job is to pick players for the club so we get results. It's up to them to be fit, work hard, and be ready when called upon. So pretty much dismissive there. Being like, right, it's not my job to make them happy. They've got to be fit. They're Manchester United Football Club. I need to pick the right team. And I think pretty much hinting that some of these players might actually end up going. Redmax TV, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. Make sure you guys head over to his channel. He's posted some great content. Hope we bounce back. It's a must, but I'm interested in the decisions Ollie will make in the game. And I am too. And that's why I'm going to pretty much go through what I think his starting lineup is going to be, even though I anticipate. Well, I don't know. I hope. Hope is the big word. I hope. Sorry, 2 seconds. I hope that he picks the right team. The main thing for me is he mustn't play McTominay. He mustn't play Lindelof. Those are the two things. I think outside of that, Van der Beek, Pogba, but the two things: McTominay at DM and Bailly must come in for Lindelof. He must choose those signings. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just gonna tweet this out. Share this link. Remember to share the vid, guys. Share the vid. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio and follow us on Twitter and on X. It does us the world of good. Right, let's quickly go on. Sorry about that, guys. So more transfer news and stuff. He's been quite there's a lot of transfer news talk, but you can sense in his press conference that he's quite frustrated with the news. Talk positive regarding Van der Beek. Well, I think good players can be able to get, but also Scott McTominay, Manny Match, and Fred are also good players. So there's competition for those places. I can see lots of different combinations in midfield, different systems as well. Probably going to see them together at some point. That's fine, so long as you don't play Scott McTominay again in that midfield or you're going to Solskjaer. That's all I have to say here. Don Ragnar says Ollie's tactics, but boot the ball to Rashford and donate to Ooh, man. Always got a joke, man. Always got a joke. VidCon, now every team has improved the squad for this season, and there are 7 teams on the top 5 spots. Top 4 spots, mate. You mean Europa League as well? United with this attitude and confidence will be strong to finish in the top 5. For me, that's a lot of that is going to be determined on not actually this game, but the next 5 games. In the next 5 games, we play 4 teams that are in that top 7. We play Chelsea, we play Arsenal, we play Spurs, we play Everton. If we win all those games, well, that's it. I think that that's a good stead for top 4. But it's winning and 3 of those games at home. We have Spurs at home, we have Chelsea at home, we have Arsenal. We need to win those home games at least. Everton away, let's give it a good go. Let's at least not lose. And Newcastle away, we'll see. We need the W tomorrow, says Tactical Magic. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Head over to his channel as well, guys. Don Magnet, if Ollie starts James and Fostermans on the right, living themselves are getting turned. I don't disagree, Chief. I don't disagree. I really don't disagree. He's not going to. I think Wan-Bissaka's going to come in. And I think that Greenwood has definitely got to come in. He must do. He asked about, do you see any chance of Chris Smalling being reintegrated into the first team if he doesn't get his move? And he says, different things need to happen then. So let's wait and see if there is that change. Let's see what happens if and when the transfer window closes, what happens to Chris. So pretty much Koi on that. Are you happy with your progress in the team to defend deep? These are very good questions, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was very kind of, I can't be asked, I'm pissed off at Ed Woodward. He just says that he wasn't happy against Palace, weren't ready to play the intensity we needed and the quality we needed. Runs weren't there. Then again, after restarting June, July, I thought we'd taken big strides. One game lives its own life, and I think the Palace one was a very disappointing one, but I'm confident that we can still break teams down with our quality, but we need some more imagination, some quality for sure. And yeah, more about finance. So yeah, let's not share that. Okay. Before I go in, VidCon Fun says Manchester United lack prolific striker who is a proper centre forward. You can't always get by using temporary striker like Marshall Rashford. We need a right back if one gets injured. Again, I don't disagree with that. We were supposed to be in for Werner was available, Haaland was available. Haaland obviously chose Dortmund, and Werner, I don't know why we didn't bid for him, to be perfectly honest, because we should have bid for him. Anyway, let me quickly show you what my starting lineup is going to be, and then we're going to wrap things up because this is a brief. I'm exhausted from my on call, so I want to quickly get this wrapped up. But let me know your thoughts in the comments still. In goal is David De Gea, obviously. David De Gea in goal. Sorry, I can't see it. This is David De Gea in goal. Now, centre back as well obviously gets interesting here. Maguire and Bailly. Maguire and Bailly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in our press conference did mention Eric Bailly. I think that's a strong hint that he will start against Brighton. He said he performed well against Luton. He's been fit. So for me, Eric Bailly's got to start. Okay, everyone knows I'm an Eric Bailly fanboy, but for me, he's our best centre-back. I think he's even better than Harry Maguire, in my personal opinion. Eric Bailly has to start against Brighton. There is no excuses. If you're going to have Maguire playing because Maguire's captain, then you play Bailly and Maguire, so at least Bailly can cover Maguire's lack of pace and perform recovery tackles. That, I think, is key. So the next key, I think, in this game is actually Nemanja Matic. Okay, Nemanja Matic for me helps to protect that back four, but more importantly, his passing distribution is a lot better than McTominay's and Fred's. Fred is a good one to maybe come on as a substitute for Matic when his legs are tired. After half an hour, after maybe the last 30 minutes, if hopefully the game is won. But Matic's passing distribution, helps us and relieves pressure in his games and helps to break the press. Because against Crystal Palace, we struggled badly to break the press. So these two players, Matic and Bailly, have to come in the team. Wan-Bissaka obviously is just a no-brainer. I don't think Foster-Mensah was good enough at right back. And we got dominated down that side. And I think Wan-Bissaka will be about his best, hopefully. And Greenwood obviously on the right. Although I appreciate that Greenwood doesn't track back as much as he should, even though I think that he should. So I would anticipate that Greenwood hopefully will be better at tracking back, but also that Greenwood come into the starting 11. Those would be what I would who I would replace. You can already see the Ajax Academy schooling in VDB. He's levels above most of our players. Personally, I think he will be better than Bruno. Yeah, I mean, the key, I guess, with Van der Beek is will he it's a sense like Pogba regress at Manchester United? Pogba had the amount of talent, amount of skill, and it looks like he's regressed being in Manchester United. And I think unfortunately it comes with, I don't know, whether it's maybe our coaching or motivation, I don't know. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen with Van der Beek. We have a world-class Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and Van der Beek, as well as even Matic. That should be a top-class, midfield. It should be. That should be a midfield that should win you games, and it must. Jerry Maguire, yeah. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's good enough, but he's personally, I don't see a difference between him and Smalling, to be honest. But he's the 80 million centre back. Good luck, Man U, and UCO time. We need a tall 6-foot striker, the type of striker who suits to our play. That's Van Persie was that's Lukaku suited our way until Lukaku started to move outside. Now he's top. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think that we should, but Lukaku wanted to be the main man, and there was issues beef with Martial. So I guess that's what happened, isn't it? Sarai Daz says, I think Pogba to play as CDM and VDB is the thing with Pogba CDM is I don't think Pogba's ball retention is great. I don't think that's his role. He does lose the ball increasingly quite a bit whilst trying to play from the back. So I don't think that I wouldn't play Pogba at CDM personally. I just think that that's not his best position. You know, Matic at CDM for me is a much better option. Where are we now? Yeah, so obviously Shaw's going to come in at left back. I've got a video prepped for Tellez deal done, but I've held off talking about LX transfer news for the simple reason that there's been so much deal done, breaking, etc., and yet we haven't even got past the basic personal term stage. So I'm holding that video off until I get some concrete information from Fabrizio Romano that says, yeah, here we go, it's close, it's gonna happen, etc. So we wait on this space because we do need a backup left back because Brandon Williams tried. Brandon Williams really did try, but I don't think he was obviously good enough, and he's quite right-footed. And Luke Shaw, I don't think could be fit all season, you know. So we've got to see what happens. I've already said about Matic. I think obviously Pogba Van de Beek dilemma is an interesting one. It's a good one to have, I think, because you saw the nature of impact substitutions in the midfield that we haven't actually had for quite some time, to be honest. So I would certainly say, if it was me, I would say that Van de Beek has at least earned his start. And I think having Van de Beek and Bruno would be interesting. What I would say, though, is that we do seem to play well with Fred in that midfield. You know, we do. And I think because they both speak Portuguese, there's good communication between Fred and Bruno. So Fred shouldn't be out of the equation. I wouldn't be completely unhappy if you had Fred and Fred, Pogba, and Bruno, or Fred, Van de Beek, and Fernandes. I wouldn't have a problem with that per se. It's just McTominay that can't be in that midfield. But I'm going with a Matic, Van de Beek, Fernandes midfield with Pogba to come off the bench and possibly Fred even, and we'll see what happens. The front three picks itself, obviously Rashford, Greenwood, and Martial. Lingard is not actually a bad option. I will say it now. I don't think Lingard is a bad option off the bench, to be honest. I think it's a good option to have, partially because I think that Lingard defensive attributes will be quite helpful. And to be honest, I know people don't like Daniel James, but Brighton are going to give us a lot more space than I think Crystal Palace would. So I don't think Daniel James playing is necessarily a bad thing, considering the amount of space that they'll give us. And obviously, Martial will be the 9. A few more comments before we round up. The problem with United is their transfer policy. We wait till the last day and pay too much for a mediocre player. If we're going to buy Sancho, why not pay up early so we can? Because I genuinely believe that we don't have the money. That's it. I genuinely believe, Chief, that we don't actually have the money to buy these players. I don't think we do. I think the money that we should have to buy those players is partially been lost to the pandemic, and the rest has gone to the Glazers. So we just don't have the money. That's the simple truth of the matter. We do not have the money because the money is either in the COVID fund, so a pandemic fund, or in the hands of the Glazers. Sato says, Tellez or Shaw, who would you pick, man, if Tellez is actually in? Well, you've got to give Tellez a shout. I don't think he automatically displaces Shaw. I think you've got to wait for that. But I think certainly if we're going to be playing, we're going to be playing Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, I definitely think that Tellez should be coming in. Naveen Kajo says, I always liked Ruben Diaz. I thought at some point he will come down, but he is set to go to Man City. I think that's a good shout as well, Naveen. I think he's okay. I don't necessarily think he's much better than the centre backs that we have. I think City are there's a risk there, because is Ruben Diaz better than say Laporte? I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't. He's okay, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's a top centre back. But he's better, I would argue, than what we have. I feel Ighalo shows me. I feel he should be given more starts too. I think Ighalo needs a bit more game time. I feel, especially with the way that we play, the thing about Ighalo is that he holds up the ball. Yes, he's not great, but the thing is, when he's been playing with no creative players at all. So he needs to hold up the ball, given more game time and allowed more opportunities, in my opinion, especially because to be honest, for me, I don't think Rashford has played quite well for quite some time. And for me, I would play Ighalo as the number 9 and put Martial on the left and see if that works. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yeah, like I said, I don't disagree with that. And I must confess, I haven't watched tons of Ruben Diaz, but I guess we'll see if he's obviously set to go to City, whether he's that top level centre back that United need, that we need. Yeah, I mean, that for me, I think a lot of United fans were snobbish regarding James Rodriguez because he flopped at Bayern Munich, he flopped at Real Madrid, so he's going to flop here. But the only thing is with James Rodriguez, his best position is as a number 10, not as a right winger. So that's possibly why things. But he'd be a right winger but they would come inside like Greenwood. But yeah, that's the one that got away, isn't it? That is definitely the one that got away. United's money goes to the revenue United brings in. Yeah, exactly. Don't disagree, VidCon. Don't disagree. And lastly, Naveen, I think Mengi should be. So that's a good point. I do think that Mengi's been promoted to the first team. So I do think that Mengi, and he's been on the bench, I think. So I do think that Mengi, if we do get injuries, and I suspect we will get injured at some point to centre back pairing, Mengi will be on the bench. Twansibi is still hit or miss depending on his injuries. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm going to be at work while it's on, so I'll be doing my instant match reaction quickly. There won't be any live post-match reaction, unfortunately. Due to that, we probably might be doing a fantasy game week stream early tomorrow morning. But guys, we'll see what happens. We will definitely see what happens because we need to win this game. We need to win this game. And if we lose this game, then there'll obviously be serious questions asked to Ollie, of the board, of the players. And it just further emphasizes the desperate need to get transfers in. Right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Oh, Don Magna has a brief comment. I'm going to quickly read Don Magna's comment before I exit. Following United goes beyond transport. United have no money. Exactly what I said. Glazed take cash out of the club in the form of dividends and don't reinvest in it by a low net transfer. Exactly. So, yes, we can talk about Ollie being, this manager. Yes, we can talk about the players. Yes, we can talk about all these factors. But people need to bear in mind where the real problem is. It doesn't matter, even if Ollie goes or whoever comes in, the problem is still going to be the same as long as the Glazers are at Manchester United Football Club. It's as simple as that. Yeah. The only thing with Ace is that, at least I still expect Manchester United to at least get Champions League football to be around 4th. I don't expect us to go all the way, to misery. So, and the thing is, we can still buy players. We can still buy expensive players. It's just we need a sporting director. Basically, you get Edwin van der Sar into the club. Then positive things happen. That's what I think. Convert Greenwood to a striker, bring Ocampos some spheres of right wing, give Mengi by a chance season and go for CB if they didn't work. Essentially, yeah. Again, I agree with that. I think we need we need Greenwood to basically these notifications. We need Greenwood to basically he was a striker under 23 level, so it's just that we don't have many good right wing options. As simple as that. I think if Sancho was at the club, then that would happen. But right now, he's our best right winger, and so he's going to play there. Anyway, guys, thanks again for everyone who's watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X. Jeez, these notifications, man. Like, share, and subscribe to us. Follow us on Twitter, United X, and smash the notification button for latest Manchester United news. Have a nice evening, everyone, and cheers.